Hello, instigators and investigators. My name is TV Skyn, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward patch content 3. Whatever. It's at some point during the Heavensward patch content, we are running investigations with Hildibrand, and it's probably about time that we pick up our next one. We need to speak, Brick. I've been scouring the archives for any information regarding temporal magic since last we spoke, and the results have been rather troubling, to say the least. As you may or may not be aware, ancient Allag is portrayed in Keridion as a cautionary tale, a great empire brought low by its vanity and hubris. However, there are certain apocryphal texts in which the Allagans are cast in a more sympathetic light, if not outright exalted. 'Twas in these texts that I found reference to temporal magics once wielded by Allagan mages. Said magics could be used to halt or even reverse the temporal state of a given object. If these accounts are to be believed, and if Gigi's abilities in these magics are one and the same, then it may well be possible for him to turn back the hands of time for the Grand Sirs, much as he restored the Duke's priceless vase. That being said, there's no telling how this will work with regards to a living being. Consider, if you will, that the vase was filled with water when shattered. Even if the vessel were restored, what would become of its former contents? Would it be filled with water, as before, the very same every drop returned, or would it be different water? Or would the water once spilt be forever lost? I speak of the soul, my dear friend. For even if one could use these magics to restore the dead to life, would they be as they were before, with all the same thoughts and memories and feelings? The Grand Sirs are convinced that they can regain their lost youth, and mayhap they can, but the dead who have entered into Hallown's halls cannot return. They cannot! Yet, Gigi is nevertheless resolved to try and resurrect Archmagus Quan. Speaking of which, according to some Charlean texts in the archives, Archmagus Quan was an accomplished scholar known for his study of ancient Allagan magics. Further evidence that Gigi's abilities are likely derived from ancient traditions, I suppose. But more importantly, I learned the location of the Archmagus' former residence. Perhaps we could find something of interest there, something which could help us persuade Gigi to change his course. I had a mind to summon Inspector Hildibrand and make the journey there together. Would you be willing to join us? Oh, no, yeah, I absolutely have to see this. Excellent. Then let us be about our business. Ha ha! I saw you! Heretic! I beg your pardon. Are you accusing me of being a heretic? Yes, you, Inquisitor Sir. I saw you sneak into the archives and seek out the forbidden tomes. I saw the mad light in your eyes as you partook of their forbidden knowledge. Oh, for the love of... I did all that for my investigation. You admit your crimes. That you did secretly without permission in blatant contravention of our rules read forbidden tomes? Then by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine. You stupid, ignorant... Are you all so desperate to keep your goddamned jobs that you'll go around accusing all the world and his wife of heresy? Is this what we've been reduced to? I'm sick and tired of looking for heretics in every bloody shadow, of trying to guess the secret sins of everyone I meet. It's stupid and pointless, and we're better than that, damn it! We're better than that! Not really, but I'm glad you're aspirational. If you will not surrender yourself, then I have no choice but to inform my superiors. Oh, poor boy. There goes your job. Well, that all came tumbling out, didn't it? I suppose there's no point in trying to convince myself that I have no personal investment in this matter, or that I still have a professional one. Somewhere along the way, I stopped looking for the guilty and started looking for the truth, perhaps, in a way to help those in need. Yeah, Hildibrand will do that. But there's no place for people like that in the Inquisition, is there? And it's only a matter of time before that stuttering fool comes back with an armed guard. Let us depart for Edelshire at once. We need to find the Inspector. Good boy, Seer. All things considered, good boy. I do like the music here. Like, it still reminds me so much of Final Fantasy V, especially.
God damn it, Hildy. I raised you to have better sense than this. Are you looking for the inspector? He went off on his lonesome. Could seem we arrived too late. Inspector Hildibrand has already gone off on his own to confront the Grand Sirs. They came back briefly to trade Englishline for supplies and whatnot, you see, and the Guardian's ear caught them trading tongue flaps about killing dragons in the Forelands.
Nasha, you have picked up the dialogue, like, distressingly quick.
When the inspector learned about it later, he said he had to get after them right away and backtake Gigi. He said he had a duty, not as an inspector, but as a father. Bugger that. He's got no obligation to a bloody mammoth, especially one that chose to leave of its own free will, as I recall. I swear I turn my back on the boy for one bleeding second and he loses his god-darned mind. I'm afraid he might try to do something reckless. Don't you think we should try and find him and offer hand lending?
I'm more concerned about what will happen if the Grand Sirs attack, or worse, kill any of Hesvelger's brood. But first things first, I suppose. Brick, would you be so kind as to assist Mistress Nashu and Julian in the search for the inspector? I will pay a visit to Archmagus Quan's abandoned abode in the meantime. Oh, and before you think to refuse, know that you need not fear for my safety. Let us just say that our singular experiences together have inured me to the harsh realities of, well, reality. Huh, could it be the scrawny little shite's finally found his spine? Oh, good lord, that's a lot of birds.
Let's start by heading to Tailfeather. I reckon the inspector probably went there at first to ask after the Grand Sirs. If we do the same, we're sure to catch up with them eventually.
Off I go, then. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're multiplying. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie. Run! The birds! The birds!
Hildy practically grew up in the saddle. Gave him his firm thighs and buttocks, it did.
You should not know that his thighs and buttocks are firm.
Right then, I say we split up and make inquiries separately. If you learn anything about the inspector for the Grand Sirs or Gigi, come and tell me.
These guardians with the mammoths, they were here, complaining to all and sundry that they were going to slay the greatest dragon of them all. Gods only know if the naive fools were serious. Oh no. Are these idiots single-handedly going to restart the Travan, like the Ishgardian Dragon War? Oh no. Oh, those daft sods! They were here for annexed shrine. Not quite sure what their intentions were, but they were awfully confident, that much I recall. Three dragon slayers and a mammoth, eh? I'd call you a mummer if I hadn't seen them come through earlier, boasting about how they were off to kill the biggest one yet. Why would they do that? Weren't they just gonna go do magic on themselves or whatever? Why do you need to kill a dragon for that?
Oh, I see. So the Grand Sirs were headed for Annexed Shrine.
And my dear boy wasn't far behind him either.
What are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go!
I really do want to see Nashu back in her gentleman's outfit. It, it suits her. There is guardians. They can't get it up without killing. Oh my god. Ew. Oh, we're here again.
Did Hildy do this? Usually he ends up in the receiving end. Oh, I found one of the Grand Sirs.
The poor, unfortunate soul who bears a striking resemblance to Orland is quite firmly embedded in the earth. That would be Hildy, wouldn't it? He's still wearing the armor.
Would you look at that? The inspector sure gave him what for. That may be, but where'd the other get to? Not to mention the mammoth. Why don't we pull him out and ask? Though, having said that, it looks easier said than done. Oh, how silly of me. I'm sure you got more than enough strength to yank him free, right, Brick?
That I do.
He's wearing some sort of magic mask that makes him look just like the inspector. Just like that man of 1,000 faces back in Uldar. No, that's Hildibrand, all right. There's no fool in the mother's eyes.
I say, what trouble has my beloved son gotten himself into this time?
There's Captain No Pants.
Why, hello there, Lord Gottbert and Inspector Seer. How'd you two end up...
Inspector Seer.
End up traveling together? Blind fortune, you might say. I was too far from Tailfeather when night began to fall, but fortunately, Lord Gottbert chanced to find me wandering in the wilderness.
Lord Edmonds told me all about the recent trouble with the Grand Sirs, as well as Hildy's investigation. And a father cannot help but take an interest in his son's affairs, can he?
As for me, I was eager to share with you my latest findings, namely Archmaker Squan's research notes.
Oh, I haven't slid like that. This is buried in the lit shard.
Well, I must confess to no small measure of embarrassment to be found in such a state, having been so unceremoniously disposed of by the Grand Sirs. But ignominy notwithstanding, I am most grateful for your succor and pleasantly surprised to be reunited with you all.
This wouldn't have happened if you'd waited for us instead of... Wait, why in the hell are you still wearing that rubbish?
An impenetrable disguise is essential when consorting with the criminal elements. Alas, it would seem the Grand Sirs have grown more perceptive in their newfound youth.
Wait, do you mean they've already regained their youth? What about Gigi? Did you see him? Was he behaving strangely?
Now that you mention it, his warm soulful eyes were rather more pointed than I remember.
By the fury, not pointy. According to Archmaker Squan's notes, that's a sign Gigi's using too much magic. If he carries on like this, his ether will be expended and he'll end up not more than an empty husk.
Well, this is terrible news. We must catch up to the Grand Sirs at once.
Do you know where they were headed? All I heard was they were keen to slay dragons.
They were bound for the Churning Mists, a place called Zenith, to kill a great worm-leg... named Nilhogg. Oh, for God's sake. I already killed Nilhogg! Really? That all happened? Huh. I bet the other one, Hresvelger. Okay, yeah, all right.
Hresvelger? Fury take me, what could they possibly hope to achieve?
Good fucking question. Also, he's gonna wipe the floor with them. Jesus! Fucking hell! That genuinely shocked me. Oh god, what's the hotkey to only click on NPCs?
After finally achieving peace of 1,000 years of war, they want to kill Hresvelger? Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Watching Hildy learn and grow as a father reminds me of my own trials and tribulations.
He looks well enough, but I wonder. At least we found the inspector, right?
Hildibrand wishes to entreat your aid in the matter of grave import.
I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry,
Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby ask you to all to aid me in rescuing my son and putting a stop to the Grand Sir's machinations.
You know, there's really no need for all that. We came because we wanted to help. I, Nashu, faithful assistant, maker of explosive extraordinaire, do hereby present to you this fresh change of clothing.
Capital! I knew I could count on you, Nashu. I shall change en route. Come, my friends, to Zenith and to Gigi. To anyone not there, you have no idea how loud it is. It is a little loud. To Mogholm. God, can you imagine the chaos Hildibrand would cause in Mogholm. Or maybe he'd just fit right in. Actually. There's an ether. A shard right here.
I say, what brilliant craftsmanship. How do they manage?
Spending too much time at this high altitude can't be good for my skin. Huh, to think that I stand in the heart of Dravanian territory. Me! How long ago was I scouring the streets for heretics? His disguises may be amazing, but nothing beats the classic Inspector look.
Yeah, Nashu. You should, Anyway. Make ready, my friends. The final battle with the Grand Sirs is at hand. Oh, to see my wounds more serious than I thought. I fear I'm in no condition to confront our foes. There's but one thing that could restore me to my former indomitable self.
Don't you worry, I got some salamander oil right here. Shall Mummy give her baby boy massage?
Yeah, no. Oh, my dearest Mummy. Mother dearest, I would not impose upon you, not when my ever-loyal associate Brick stands ready to minister to my muscles. If you're gonna hit on me, just hit on me. Don't do this shit. Especially, don't involve your mom. Ah.
Don't tell me you're embarrassed. Let Mummy take care of little Hildy's hurts.
My dear wife, I know you mean well, but let Brick handle it. Theirs is a bond which transcends space and time and personal boundaries.
No, the personal boundaries are still there. Very much intact.
Well, if that's the way of it, I'm counting on you, Brick.
Let us brook no further delay. Come, my friend, coat my body in oil, as you've done many a time before. How it soothes my aches and pains. Quickly now, knead it into my flesh. Knead as you have never kneaded before. They're doing this on purpose.
Such furious kneading. I applaud your enthusiasm, but mayhap I urge you to excessive force.
No, you were in the right. Already the gentle warmth begins to spread through my body. The fires of righteousness burn anew in my breast.
Oh, my son, though your passion is renewed, you may yet be spurred to greater feats of Mandervillian strength. Derived from the purest essence of salamanders, the ancient legacy of House Manderville, Salamanderville. To you, my beloved son, now become a proud father, I bequeath this most sacred of oils.
Salamanderville? Could it be that the legends were true?
Your muscles shall shine with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. No mortal man will have the power to do you harm. Verily it is so, for by its grace did I once weather the slings and arrows of a bandit horde and bring my hammer of justice to bear upon their wicked heads. The time has come, Brick. Take this oil and help Hildy become the Manderville man he was meant to be.
Oh, no. Why me? I mean, it wouldn't be any better if any of the others... It would be funnier if Seer had to do it, but... I'm ready for my final oiling, Brick. Yeah, happy Pride Month. Oh, the Salamanderville, how it flows into every nook and cranny. Quickly now, lay your hands upon me, massage me with all your might. Yes, that's the spirit. I can feel it building and rising. Don't use those words! Oh, such passion, such fervor. I am the inferno unbound, the tempest unleashed, but I have not yet even begun to pose. I am a Manderville man! Oh, that Salamanderville is my word. I've never felt so alive. Such vibrant colors, such intense sounds, such fragrant smells. Mother, Father Brick, 'twas your oils and your strong yet tender fingers which opened my eyes to the glory of creation. I'm a gentleman inspector reborn. Onwards to Zenith. No matter the laws of nature they pervert or the limits they break, the Grand Sirs can do nothing to stop me.
Galgos, message him, you kitten.
Is he just gonna get owned in the very first second? That would be very funny. Grand sirs, I have come for my son.
Oh, must we do this now? We have a dragon to slay.
Good luck, frankly.
There's no need for any of this. The war is over. But not for long. The worm's death will give rise to a new era of fire and blood, and we, having consumed his eyes, will use our new powers to win untold glory on the battlefield. Our legends will echo in eternity. You would doom countless innocents for glory? No, I won't allow it. Over my dead body. Far be it from us to deny you, then. This is the end for you.
The ultimate end. Oh, come at me. No, 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 no. They're doing fucking Knights of the Round. Oh my god. I mean, they went all out with it. He's summoning his fucking wife. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Well, R.I.P. Hildibrand.
Have faith, my love. He's our son.
Yeah, he got jump shot. GG, my beautiful boy. Pray, do not look upon me with such pointy eyes. Let Papa Hildy take you home to our gazebo.
Stop calling me that. My name's Vivi. I remember everything. My powers, my purpose, my Grandpa Quan. I made them young again, but it's not enough. I need more. I need the worm's eyes, and then I can finally bring him back.
I'm sorry, Gigi, but no, you cannot. Grandpa Quan is gone.
He's right, Gigi. Mayhap you could restore his corporeal form and breathe life into it, but his soul, what made him your grandpapa, is forever beyond your reach. That's not true. I can't restore anything to its ideal form, to the way it should be. Even Grandpa Quan, even you, Papa Hildy. Please, Gigi, you have to stop. If you keep using your power, you'll die.
Oh, because he's already perfect.
I don't understand. Your clothes are still dirty and tattered.
As they should be, Gigi, for my every waking moment is as the gods intended. Every day I live life to its fullest. Every day I enjoy grand adventures.
I found your grandpapa's research notes. What he gave you wasn't the power to make things the way they were. He gave you the power to change the world, to make things the way you yourself believe they should be. That's why your magic's of no effect to the inspector, because you know in your own heart that this battered and bruised form of his is, in its own way, right.
My thoughts exactly, Inquisitor Seer, and it is for this self-same reason you were unable to make Grandmaster Quan younger. In your heart, you knew there was naught that needed to be changed. Your beloved grandpapa was exactly as he should be. Your every day was to be treasured and worthy of celebration.
And what about the grandsirs? Why was I able to make them young again? All you truly knew of them were the stories they told, wondrous tales of daring do by heroes in the prime of their lives. It's no wonder you were able to envision them as such. That's all they ever talked about when they were young and free and full of fire. At first, Archmagus Quan didn't understand the true nature of your abilities. He struggled to deduce why you could not make him younger as he originally intended. Eventually, he realized that your fond memories of him were preventing you from conceiving of him as anything but an elderly creator, and that the only way to achieve his goal would be to take them from you. But you were all yet left in the world, no longer a mere mammoth, but a friend, family, his only family, his grandson. He couldn't bear to lose you, so he renounced his quest for immortality. But I still lost my memories in the end. He was afraid of leaving you all alone in the world, afraid that others would attempt to take advantage of you and your magics. So before he died, he decided to take your memories from you after all, to protect you. But despite his best efforts, something remained, something stronger and more powerful and more resilient than anything Archmagus Quan ever dared dream. You were never broken, Gigi. You were never abandoned. All he ever wanted was to set you free. Free to do what?
Whatever you like, Gigi, don't you see? That was his final gift to you. A new life, a story all your own. Oh, this has all been very, very touching, but we are not getting any younger. Well, you aren't at any rate. We have suffered your meddling long enough. I had intended to use this trap to kill the worm, but since you are so perfectly positioned... Oh, hey, explosive barrels. Oh, hey, a tower is falling down. I think we have time to move. We could just, like, if you just shift, like, sideways 15, 20 feet, maybe 40, we can just run, like, the... Okay. I'm Vivi, grandson of Archmagus Quan and GT, son of Hildibrand, Helidor, Maximilian, Manderville, and this is my story! Yes, his ideal form. Oh no! It's like it never happened. With the last of his strength, he turned back the hands of time. Not just for the pillars, but for us all. He made us all as we once were. As we were meant to be.
lad gallivanting about. I get bugger all. What about my misspent youth? I was not meant to be this bloody old.
Such a fine day. Never have I squatted with such perfect form. I may well have reached my physical peak.
What rot. At your age, you daft sod, you look foolish. You should be careful. Gigi saw what you had become and gave you a second chance. That was our second chance to relive our glory days.
It was rather silly, though, wasn't it? Maybe Quan at the right of it. Maybe it's not so bad growing old. I was a coward when I was young. But now that I'm old, I'm not afraid to say things like, I love you, Doris.
Oh, that was some... Did you catch that? That was some really nice, subtle face acting from Doris there. Like the little wiggle of the eyes and like that's the sudden searching for feelings and words. Ooh, that was good. You're a blind bloody fool, Garnspart. Is Julian gonna stop being like that? Never. Hildibrand's sort of a testing ground for the animation. Yeah, it seemed the same way last time, too. I say, am I dead again? Quite alive, Inspector, along with everyone else, thanks to Gigi. The Grand Sirs are also in our custody. Ah, that's my boy! Where's the little tyke, anyway? Gigi, Gigi embarked on a grand new adventure. He's no longer with us. I see. Well, if that's what he wanted, then I could not be happier for him. I'm sure Archmaker's Quan would feel the same way. What do we do now, Inspector? Raxum? Is it not obvious, Nashu? The wide, wide world beckons to us with the promise of mystery and wonder. We shall resume our never-ending quest for cases perplexing and profound, and perhaps, one day, we shall meet young Gigi again. I hate to admit it, this whole mess got me thinking that maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I really did have a grandson. You did right by Gigi, Hildy. Your father and I can see that. We're proud of the man you've become. And I'm proud of you too, Mother, for finally coming to terms with the ephemeral nature of physical beauty and allowing yourself to age gracefully. Oh, no. Yep. Yeah. gracefully, was it?
I fear we may have had a failure to communicate! Team Rocket's blasting off again. Indeed, lunar confusion.
There he goes again! Wait for me, Inspector! Wait!
Hildibrand-shaped hole.
Hark! What a curious light I spy in the far eastern skies, and this also familiar scent which fills my nostrils. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, friends, for wherever the wronged want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there till we meet again!
And off he goes to Stormblood. Yeah, we'll follow him soon enough.
I say, you do know that as long as the core remains intact, little Gigi is not actually dead.
That's right. So dry your tears, boy. There's no need for all this moping about.
He's fallen into a dormant state because he used up all his ether. His core will gradually recharge as it draws upon ambient ether, and in time he will reawaken from his torpor. I shall tend to the child for now. As for these three, I should be glad to take them back to Ishgard in your stead.
A most generous offer, my lord, but hardly necessary. After all, 'tis my duty to bring them to justice. Oh, yes, it was my duty. After everything I said to that young Inquisitor, I can't go back to Ishgard. They'll toss me in jail and throw away the key if they don't kill me outright. So got Edelsharon live in Hildy's gazebo. Someone ought to look after it while he's away now. That doesn't sound bad at all, actually. Fully glad am I to accept your offer.
Can you get her giant frying pan as a weapon?
I suppose there's nothing for it but to wait until he comes back down.
Was a most grateful strike, my love. You haven't lost your touch.
Mail! Come on! You're not wrong, but come on! That was nice. Ah, God! Oh, good Lord. You people.
I suppose there's nothing for it but to leave the grand sirs to Lord Godbert and for me to see Inspector Hildibrand's gazebo. I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. If you find yourself in Adelshire, come and see me. There are a few arrangements that I need to make, but I can imagine can't imagine it'll take me that long to settle in. Thank you, my friend. Until we meet again.
For a second, when I popped back in, I thought I was just looking at a row of behemoth asses. And I was like, ah! The hell? What the hell was that bloodborne monster that one guy was riding?
Looking back on the course I've run, it's hard not to think of the man I was and feel ashamed. Before I took on this case, I'd only left the capital a handful of times. The rubbish I believed, the facts I considered unassailable. Fury take me. What a fool I was. If I hadn't met you, and the inspector, and Gigi, I would never have realized how much I've come to hate my job. Nor would I have discovered how much more satisfying it is to seek out the truth. The whole truth. One might say that getting labeled a heretic and having to flee Ishgard is the best thing that could have happened to me. After all, I am now free to start a new life here in Idleshire as a consulting inspector.
Oh god, the Hildebrands are multiplying! He's gonna be posing the next time we see him.
But enough of that. There's someone I'd like you to meet. Lord Godbert made some modifications, as you can see. His smaller size should allow him to absorb ether more effectively over time. We thought that if he were to travel with you and share in your grand adventures, that maybe it would hasten his reawakening. Thank you, my friend. I do hope our paths cross again someday. May the Fury bless you and keep you.
Like Hildibrand accidentally establishing an international detective agency. Credits. If only I could read them. Oh my god, he really is multiplying. Oh no! Those pants look good on him, though. What? I didn't say anything. Again, some really good character animation going on here. Hey, he's got the zombie as a friend. Aw, sweet. And there they are. Yeah, of course they're there. That was sweet. That was quite nice. It really is like the... Good lord, there's a lot of them. And as a whale, yes. It really is sort of the formula for doing something like this. As we talked about, like, previously, the formula, as it were, for making something like this work is to... If you want to make something as silly as Hildibrand work, it is to, like, have the stuff that is around him still be... I mean, not necessarily serious-minded, but at least heartfelt, right? Like, that there is genuine, like, pathos and emotion to it that doesn't undercut itself, right? Because that's the thing that, like, that's the thing that can often happen. Like, that's one of the Marvel things, right? Like, that's one of the things that people get tired of with Marvel shit, is its allergy to sincerity, right? Like, that every scene, every emotional beat, like, kind of has to be undercut with a haha, here's a side, like, here's a little joke to the side where we go, oh, isn't this a silly emotional scene kind of thing? And the same thing that Disney is doing, right? Where every time they sort of approach a classic, sincere Disney moment, some character looks to the camera and goes, ah, isn't this a sincere Disney moment? Someone's gonna break into song, right? Like, that particular American vibe, right? Like, that would fatally kill a story like this. Because it's it's sort of like, this is sort of my critique of it, is that it's fundamentally a refusal to be vulnerable. Like, it is a retreat into irony. It is a retreat into insincerity, to sort of escape having to express a real feeling. And corporations love that, of course, because, like, that's way easier to do than to create something with genuine feeling and sentiment. Way easier to market and sell. And in this version, like, you still have the comedic tone, right? Like, still, everything's very, very silly. But then right at the end, when Vivi uses his powers and sort of self-sacrifices, all of the comedy sort of falls away for a while. Like, the comedy goes completely silent for a bit, and it just lets that moment sit, right? Like, no one side-eyes the camera, no one does a little winky face, like, there's no cutaway to a gag. It's just, they just play out the scene, and then once the major emotional beat is over, that's when we get the thing of, like, oh, hey, the Godbird is in his underpants. But then that's also part of the sincerity of the moment, right? Like, that this is how Vivi sees him. Like, this is Gigi's perception of how, like, his perfect form, right? Like, that his perception of his grandmother is like that angry, terrifying berserker. So, like, it relates somewhat to the moment. And that's just well handled. Like, that's just good storytelling craft to do that, I think. Like, I think that's just good craft to have the confidence to do that. That's the other thing. Like, doing that also takes confidence from a writer. Because, like, that's the other thing that the ironic side-eye is, like, the ironic side comment, the meta-humor. It is also, like, it's lampshade hanging, and the point of that is partly to kind of go, yeah, I know this is silly, I know this is tropey, I know this is, like, dumb, I get it, like, I'm with you on that one, but just bear with me. It's sort of apologizing for the sincerity of the moment in a way. And that's really hard not to do. Like, anyone who's tried to write fanfiction knows this, that every time you put an obvious trope into the fanfic, you kind of go, ah, shit, like, that's an obvious trope. Should I like, try and soften it? Should I try and, like, write around it? Should I try? And, like, no, you shouldn't. Like, unless you are very specifically doing a post-ironic sort of lampshade thing, you shouldn't. You should just write it through. You should be honest with it and sincere. And some people will roll their eyes and kind of go, oh, fuck that was boring and lame. Like, they'll moan and piss about it. But the people that you actually want to have read your story, they will buy in. They'll accept it. It's also like trying to excuse poor writing by telling the audience, you know, it's bad. No, not necessarily. Like, it's not necessarily poor writing, but it is, like, it is acting as though it is poor writing, right? Like, you are acting as though you think your own writing is bad. Like, you think your own writing is so flawed that it needs to have this, like, oh, this is just some dumb bullshit I came up with. Like, don't take it too seriously. But it doesn't mean the writing is bad. It just means that the writing is acting as though it's trying to cover up for its flaws. And and that can be good. Like, there are moments and times and places where it can be good. Like, Tony Stark in many of the Marvel movies is a good character, specifically because he refuses to be sincere about anything, right? Like, that's part of his character arc, is that he is such a irony-poisoned billionaire bro guy that he cannot be serious about anything. That's part of his characterization. That's good. So it's not, like, automatically a bad thing. It's just, it's become so much the default of, like, the Marvel house style that it becomes kind of tiresome and annoying. Yeah, what's up next? Good question. Well, I know what's up next because I have a list of things that are up next, which is specifically some people asked for some reviews of their glams. We got 4 of those, and Mail, I suspect, is somewhere in the game. Let's see, what do we have here? A rogue glam, dashing accomplished rogue, one might be a D&T. Oh, no, yeah, you fucking nailed that. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, that's, I think maybe the weapons are a little much, but, like, the outfit, if that's the kind of character design you're going for, then you are there, basically. White and red is an interesting combination because that's a very bright sort of look at me color. Like, white stands out against everything. It's the ultimate contrast. So, like, that's definitely, if it's like a flashy sort of like, hey, I'm here, I'm swashbuckling on the center of attention, that is definitely, that's definitely a good color scheme to go for with that. You could go even harder on it by making the hat and the pants bright white and red too, like, if you really wanted to lean into it, or mix in some bright yellow, or, like, you can make it more colorful, like by adding more colors to the palette. But no, you basically got there. And I like the black as well. Like, if you wanted them to appear a little bit dangerous also. Like, it's like, yeah, they're loud and flashy, but they're also, like, they could kill you. Absolutely black is a good choice for that. As for the weapons, I might go with something a little more subtle for the weapons, honestly. Like, in terms, like, something that just looks more like normal daggers. Specifically because the outfit is already so loud. Like, the outfit is already so, hey, pay attention to me, look at me. Whereas, I think, if the weapons are also that loud, that starts to feel a little insecure, right? Like, that starts to feel less like confidence and more like, look at these super fancy weapons I have. Whereas if this is like, you know, the thing of like if you see some guy in, like, if you get to the end of an RPG and you fight someone with a huge fuck-off super complicated weapon, that's probably a difficult fight. But if you get into a fight with someone who just has, like, what looks like a completely normal sword, that's when you know you're fucked, because that's the extra super boss. Like, that's the guy who's so fucking confident and so powerful. He doesn't need anything fancy. He can kill you with a pick sticker, right? Like, you can kind of lean into that, I think, if you chose, like, a really simple weapon. This is, no kidding, one of the most subtle ninja weapons. Holy shit, really? Fucking hell. But that's just a suggestion. Like, in terms of, like, the weapons are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Like, my only objection to them is that they slightly overshadow the outfit, which I think is the real draw here. But no, yeah, like, you nailed that. That's an excellent version of that exact thing that you said. Okay, let's see. There should be a Sunset Tempest somewhere. Oh, right, freaking in front of me. Yoshimitsu is subtler than this. Okay, let's see. Hey, Clea, nice glasses. Okay, so here we have, like, this thing I sort of commented on earlier is that this sort of reminded me of a Valkyrie profile thing. But I guess you're going for more of a Malenia? Elden Ring sort of thing, at least with the long weapon that you've got. That sort of seems like the vibe. And the red hair, obviously. And yeah, like, insofar as it's possible to cosplay Elden Ring characters, you've done a pretty damn good job of that. Good choice of colors, too. Like, I know that sort of comes with Malenia if that's the character you're emulating, but, like, the gold, red, gray, silver gray, that all works together quite well. See, now, I haven't looked that much at Malenia, so I should just Google her to see what this sounds like. Yeah, like, Malenia is sort of more brown, if that's what if that's specifically what you were going for. Whereas this is, like, that's sort of why I thought Valkyrie profile initially, is because, like, the bright white sort of feminine aspect with the dress, like, that's more of a Valkyrie profile sort of thing, like anime Valkyrie kind of thing. And I will say, like, looking at it as a character design sort of absent any cosplay, like, if I sort of go outside the realm of cosplay, you could probably stand to do either a simpler chest plate to sort of match the extreme simplicity of the skirt, or a slightly more complex skirt of some kind, like something that has a little bit of some kind of detail down here. Because right now the design is very sort of top heavy in the detail. Like, because both the sword is going to be like at hip level, and you have the helmet and the, like, the thing and the thing and the cape and the hair, all of the detail is like up here, and then this is like a very sort of dead space. Which unbalances the costume a little bit. Where, like, you could still find it something that's simple, I'm sure. But you might want to go with something that has, like, a little bit of decoration. Maybe some, like, a dress that's sort of open so you can have, like, wear pants underneath. I don't know. There's probably a million options. But, like, something with a little, maybe some detailing around the hem or something. Just to sort of balance the detail level between top and bottom. Because right now they look a little mismatched. I really like the sword, though. That's a really fucking cool sword. And the helmet looks great on this character, too, by the way. Like, again, absent any cosplaying considerations, just, like, that helmet with the red hair and, like, on a row, femrow, that's a good combination, I think. Like, that, it has, like, that operatic quality, right? Yeah, that's really cool. couple of Discord redemptions. Let's go look at Discord. As you get naked. Yeah. Again, Malenia cosplay, I take it. Let's see. Sheena. Gunslinging Explorer. Gunslinging Explorer, you say. All right. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I can definitely see that with that design. I will say, my initial impression upon seeing the character, and that comes down to the color scheme a lot, like the white coat, and like with the glasses and the hair up in a bun, I sort of immediately thought scientist. Like, I was sort of more on the, like, this is a doctor or a scientist or a researcher or an investigator. That was sort of more the immediate vibe I got from the character design, just because of the colors. It sort of depends. Like, if you want a character who reads as an explorer, like someone who's a world traveler, specifically, someone who's, like, on their feet a lot, who, like, wanders around, then earth tones are often good. Like, for example, some boots that are brighter than this, like in a brighter brown color, like preferably a dusty brown, that would sort of do a lot, because right now, because the boots are quite dark, they sort of flow together with the pants, and then they, like, the white and black looks quite formal, right? Like, black and white is like coattails, and like that's sort of a very formal look. That's sort of a very indoors. If you had some really, like, sensible bright brown travel boots, that could create a nice contrast with the design and sort of go, oh, okay, people would draw their attention to that and go, oh, okay, this is someone who's, like, out wandering, out walking on their feet kind of thing. Like, that might sort of give more of that traveler vibe to it. A hat could also do that. I don't know how many options you have as a Mikote, but a hat could do that, like some kind of like traveling hat of some sort. Even like a straw hat would probably do it. A scarf, like, I don't know if you can really equip a scarf over the top of that particular outfit. A scarf would also do it. Like, they have a tendency to be good for sort of showing travelers traveling. Same thing with a poncho would do that, but that would require you to change the coat. And I really like the coat. I think the coat is super cool. And it works really well, especially with the gun. And it works well with the character design, like the red hair, and like the face makeup you've got going. I think the coat is a really good match with that. So I would build something around the coat to sort of do that. Again, you could also, like, you have brown present in the color scheme, right? Like, you have this sort of light cream brown right here on the boundary. You have it in the straps. You could give her brown trousers. Like, you could, like, earth-toned brown, maybe green. Maybe that would clash with the red. That would be too Christmassy. You could experiment with other tones, something lighter for the pants as well. But I'd say pants and boots are, like, where you could probably make this character pop even more immediately as, like, oh, this is a traveler. This is a research, like, this is a gunslinger who travels around the world kind of thing. That's the other thing. Like, if you put a cowboy hat on her, she'll be a gunslinger. It doesn't fucking matter what she wears. Like, if the cowboy hat, gunslinger, that will automatically happen. A cowboy hat and a gun, you could wear a clown costume and you'd still be a cowboy, right? Because hats are really powerful in that way. Rin Kaida. Let's see. A steampunkish sage glam complete with straight-up guns for the weapon. I personally like the painted nails with the pop of orange and the goggles. Let's have a look. Ooh, hello. Oh, that's quite cool. No, yeah, I agree. I like that. That's actually really nice. Okay. So that's an unusual color combination. Like brown, like brown with like a bright blue, like with that azure. That's a really bold choice, because, like, those are colors that don't normally go together, but because the gold is in there, like the brass color, that actually makes it work. Like, it's a contrast, but it's a strong, like, it's a strong contrast, and because it's consistent throughout the outfit, it works together really well. Like, the only thing I think that clashes a little bit is the bright pink in the hair. Like, that sort of, it doesn't really have a continuation anywhere else in the outfit, right? Like, it's nowhere else in the character, so it sort of stands very apart on its own. That can be a good thing, like, especially if you want to draw attention to the hair, if you want to draw attention to the hair color. That can be a good thing. If you wanted to make it match more, like if you wanted to make it flow completely, I would change the accent in the hair color to a blue that's similar to what's on the nails and what's what's on the shirt, or something in a green or a teal, like something more in like the blue color space. Preferably should be, no, it could be warm or cold. Like warm or cold tones would probably both work. That's if you want to make it flow. If you like the contrast, if that's where you want to keep it, then I don't think that's a bad call at all. You could also go for a more fancy mask in terms of color. Like, you could go for something that's a little more outrageous with the mask. Like, the mask could maybe share the pink color. Could be blue as well, if you wanted to. Again, sort of depends what vibe you want the mask to have, because as long as it's brown, it looks like leather, right? Like, it looks like it's sort of like a sensible piece of gear. Like some kind of practical thing that's part of the outfit. The moment you change its color to something more outrageous or unnatural, that's when people go, okay, that's a fashion accessory now. So it depends how you want the mask to be read. No, yeah, I like that. Like, the blue and the brown it's an unusual color combination, but I think it works with this character. Like, I think it stands out. Like, the only thing I would add is, like, white accents to it somewhere. Like, if you could find some white to go in there as well, not replacing anything, but just, like, if, I don't know what the dyeing options are for these things, but, like, if you have white accents down the center of the shirt or on, like, the sleeves or something, if that was possible. I don't know if it is. Like, I think that will create a little more contrast and sort of break up the shape a little bit more, make it look a little fancier, which I think would match the vibe of the rest of the outfit. Not that it needs to, though. I love that the nails color coordinate with the shirt, too. That's a really good detail. No, yeah, that's cool. Right, get the Discord off the screen so that we can get all of the carnival in the group shot. To tell the audience that if you want more Final Fantasy XIV, you're going to have to like, comment, and or subscribe for it. If you're on Twitch, you're going to get a little bit more right the hell now. You can become a member of the channel to get early access to episodes before they go live to everyone else. You can become a Twitch subscriber to watch the full VODs of these streams, including bits that don't go into the episodes. Yeah, I think that's all the self-promotion I have to do. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to be kind to one another, have solidarity with those who are worse off than yourselves, and may the tides of history wash gently over us all.